It's a strange shift, isn't it? The parent who raised you needs some help, and you want to be there. With Care.com, you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're clear on the kind of care your aging loved one needs or still figuring it out, we've got support. Find background-checked in-home senior caregivers for anything from companionship to dementia care. Or browse senior living communities, read reviews, even schedule a tour. Plus, access to safety checks to help with your peace of mind. Still not sure what's best? Our senior care advisors, who are all master's level social workers, can help you build a plan. For a limited time, use the code LISTEN20 for 20% off your initial Care.com subscription. That's LISTEN20, all one word, good for 20% off. Start your senior care journey with confidence.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Altar Call. I am your host, Tane, here to talk about Love is Blind Season 10. As always, my co-host for Love is Blind, it is Brian from Maps Virgin. Hello, Brian, or like I said this morning, Brianne. How are you doing?
I'm good. I got really excited when this started because as a Big Ten alum, listening to like Big Ten talk makes me really, really happy. The Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, it's not my favorite one, but I know it's very serious for them. And so hearing a little bit of that was like being at home.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. It's 10th season. It's not necessarily 10th anniversary, but I just feel like there was not a lot of fanfare, a lot of
Mm-mm.
promo for this. I had a friend who was like, I didn't even know they were back. So I don't know if it's going to be so terrible that they are keeping it on the low, but it can't be worse than Denver. But based on the 6 episodes, it wasn't so terrible. But
Yeah,
it's interesting. It doesn't feel like a 10th season situation, is what I'm
truly. Yeah,
saying.
I agree. We didn't really get any big announcement of a 10th season. I really only knew it was back because it's Valentine's Day, and that's when it usually drops.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they didn't really make a big deal about it, and I kind of feel like a lot of times with reality shows and stuff like that, if they do like a 10th season, it's like we're moving toward all stars. It's people that were in the pods and they didn't really work out. We're getting another chance here or something like that, and we didn't do that, which I'm happy with.
Yeah.
But yeah, this feels like it could have been season 7 or season
Yeah.
4. It just kind of is another season of the show.
Yes, that is very true. So something I want to share is Love is Blind. South Africa is sitting, there's a tile on my Netflix that just says Love is Blind South Africa. I am so
Mm-hmm.
excited. It just says coming 2026, which is very broad. We don't have a particular time, but you guys know we are in it. We are
Yeah.
going to be on it. I don't know when it is, but I'm so excited because it's going to be a hot, hot, hot mess. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know anything about it, but it's going to be a hot mess.
Yeah, no, I have a listener in South Africa who just sent me like a screenshot of the promo with like 35 exclamation marks in a row. I
Yep.
was like, all right, let's do it.
Yep. That is going to happen. So looking forward to that. And we're just looking out for a date. And in an update from Love is Blind Sweden, Carolina and Jacob, they broke up after
I
about two
forget who those are.
years.
Oh, is that the
Okay.
guy with the?
Yes, Jacob is the one who was adopted, the Sri Lankan
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
adopted, and Carolina was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm feeling you yet," and then she
yeah.
did, and they broke up. But they mentioned something about they've been through a lot of hardships because I know at the reunion they mentioned someone's her dad was sick or something, and they were living
Mm.
separately at the time, but they didn't make it, and that's done.
Oh, bummer.
Um, this is maybe not the right place, or before I dive into housekeeping. I just wanted to announce to anyone if there's a crossover who listened to our Suddenly Amish recap and you're listening to this too, we can't do it anymore.
Can't do it.
I just, it was a realization as soon as we stopped recording. I'm like, Brian, I'm pulling the cord on that. And he's like, yes. Because I'm like, I can't keep talking about a show that I hate. But, at the same time, I know some of you appreciate it. And I'm really grateful that you guys are listening. But I'm not going to subject you to listen to something that is not fun. And to no thank you, who sent me a message about it. I'm appreciative. But yes, this is the official announcement that this is not going to happen. But as a compromise, we might, when they're done, I was really hoping this was one of those 6 episodes TLC shows, but it's not looking like it.
It's probably
But
24.
once they're wrapped, we might do like a season recap and see what is going on or what happened with that. But I don't even think TLC likes the show. They're not promoting it. I don't see anyone talking about it. So I don't know. But it's interesting because I asked if there's anything you like about the show, let me know. And know that you said it's the uncertainty, the things that we don't like, Brian. Like, where
Yeah.
are we headed? What are we doing? And she's like, I don't know where it's headed. And that's so
What are the
exciting
rules?
to me. So I love it. Like, we all love different things, and that's where it's at. So yes, just wanted to let you guys know in case anyone was wondering, because we used to do that bi-weekly, like where are the episodes? There are no episodes because couldn't do
Sorry,
it
y'all.
anymore.
Blame TLC for that.
Wasn't sparking joy. Okay. Back to Love is Blind. Okay, Brian. OH.
I
There
feel
you
dirty doing
go.
that. I feel real dirty, but it is what it is.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That was my first time in my life ever hearing OHIO,
Oh.
and they went far too long. The closest that I know is, again, the Australian one. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. I didn't know we had a version.
Every Big Ten school has a thing like that.
Okay.
Like we all have a thing. Michigan State is go green, go white. Penn State is we are Penn State.
Wait,
That's the Ohio State thing.
but so this is not for the state, it's the school chant?
It's kind of both. So Ohio State is like the only the only big school in Ohio. So like you can do OHIO and everyone gets it, but after they score a touchdown, half the stadium yells OH, the other half yells IO, and they go back and forth like that for a very fucking long time.
Oh.
So like to me, it's always very associated with Ohio State, but I think it's also just like the whole state of Ohio, because unless you went to like Cincinnati or like University of Ohio, this is like the big school in state.
Oh, okay. Well, some people wondered why Ohio. I don't know if this is the official reason, but Nick is from Ohio. Nick is from Cincinnati. Known that since his 98 degrees time. So maybe that's why. But specifically this season, they're in Columbus. So I did not have any expectations. I don't think I know anything about it. I think I was anticipating nothing different from Minneapolis or Denver. It's Midwestern. I don't.
Well, Ohio's weird though, because like Cincinnati is damn near in Kentucky. Like Cincinnati is on the border of Kentucky, and then Cleveland is like a very industrial city, and there's not really anything in the middle except for Columbus, which is a college town. So like it's a strange state geographically, because it's not. I don't consider people can get mad. I don't really consider Ohio a Midwestern state for me. It's a Great Lakes state. It's different because it's out there. It's by Pennsylvania. It's a different. I'm a Western Midwestern person, so for us, culture is different. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the culture in Ohio other than it's got like these two sides, Cleveland and Cincinnati, and like never the tween shall meet.
Okay. Well, before I forget, if you'd like to support the pod, patreon.com/AltaCallMAFS, you can get bonus episodes. I have a new bonus episode with Aid up there where we discuss part 1 of Bridgerton season 4. Yes, up there now. So you can go hear our thoughts on the Benedict and Sophie story. And I know sometimes the ads can get annoying. You can get a tier. It's just $3. You can listen ad-free over there. These episodes, it's always 6 episodes for the first. This was a job. This was
a hike
to get through. I'm like, I can't even complain because this is what it is every year, but I don't know. This was a lot somehow for me. And it's the pod therapy batch. It's the part where everyone comes to trauma dump to people they don't know. And we have to go through it with each and every one of them. And, we were sad for it. Vanessa and Nick come in. I thought Vanessa looked great with the animal print, even though if you look at the tile on Netflix, she got a BBL. I don't know what they did to it. They cinched, they gave her this very severe hourglass figure that is clearly not her. She looks great, don't get me wrong, but it looked like a ChatGPT situation.
They made her like Sophie from 90 Day Fiance.
Yes, exactly there. And Nick rose in with a choice to wear a brown leather jacket and black pants and all that.
The shiniest jacket I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So we get Tyler. We're introduced to Tyler. Tyler's in her Hanifa dress saying, oh, Jesus already died single, so she doesn't want to die single, we have a divorcee, we have someone with a kid. And
Hmm.
the way we're going to go through this episode, we're going to go through like little highlights from the pods, from some triangles, some squares, and sees what happened. Then we'll do the reveal. Then we'll go to Cabo or Malibu.
And Malibu.
And then we'll have the pool party and the birthday party. And we'll talk about that and we'll see where that takes us.
Hmm.
Okay. What happened during the pods? Let's talk about Emma. We meet Emma, and Emma is, it's not a, I wouldn't call it a disability, right? She's
No,
had
I,
multiple, it's an alteration to her physical. That sounds so severe. Okay, she's had multiple
yeah,
surgeries because
yeah,
she had a big birthmark, like a big black birthmark all over her arm, and she had skin grafts and multiple surgeries to get that off. So her arm is severely scarred, like
yeah,
from her shoulder down to like her wrist. You can see the scarring, and she's conscious of it.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
okay,
I was trying to think like I wish I had the like a better word for
word,
it than
yeah.
like a disfigurement because that doesn't sound right
No, that
either.
doesn't
But
sound
like
right.
she's got visible scarring from skin grafts is like
Yes.
the only way to really phrase it.
Yes. I do like the fact that she's not even hiding it. Like she's
No.
not, there's some people who are like, "Oh, I don't like my arms. I'm just going to wear a denim jacket even if it's, hot and it's just an insecurity." Like she is conscious about it, but she doesn't let it stop her. We see her in a lot of sleeveless,
Yeah. All the
outfits, and
time.
it's just a thing, like this is something I went through and that's it. And she's
Hmm.
gorgeous. She's a very
Hmm.
pretty lady. So she is not 100% on kids. She was also adopted to a white family. She does not have any desire to find out heritage, not her heritage, that sounds terrible, but she doesn't want to find out her background. She's fine with her
Yeah.
family. Like her family love her, that's enough for her. And she's choosing not to disclose that to her pod squatters or the people she's dating. That doesn't
Hmm.
last long. Every time they say that, it doesn't last. Like, "Oh, I'm not going to say it. I'm mysterious." And they just bleh, say it anyways.
Yeah.
Um the first conversation she has is with Steven. Now, I think Brian had alerted me that Steven is a SOS red alert. We don't like this
Hmm.
man. And I did not remember. I couldn't remember who it was because I didn't know. I knew there was someone, but I didn't know who it was. But I
You
had
tell
my
right
notes
away,
and I
right?
was just, yeah, I was like, I can't tell if this man is sincere or not. Talking about the boy and girls club, and I need to do
uh,
that. And then his story was like, the way his grandparents met, was it at a bank and
hmm.
he didn't speak the language, and then he pointed at the clock and she just knew to meet me here. And I'm like, if you pointed at the clock, how do you know he wasn't saying what time is it? Also, what
Right.
time was on the clock to know if she was working that you were supposed to meet? I'm pretty sure it was an analog clock, so I don't I
For sure it was. This was
and
like 1940.
how do you know he wasn't asking the time? Like, please, that it
Well, and
just
beyond that, my thing was this. Okay, listen. First of all, I think everything he says is a lie. I think everything he says is curated to like trap a woman and to make her feel a certain way about him. My
yeah.
problem with this story is the man is serving in World War II in France. There are French people everywhere. French is not an impossible language to learn. You could not learn how to say, "Do you want to meet me here at this time?" It could take, he's going to the same bank all the time. You couldn't like practice for 3 days and learn how to say this one phrase to this woman. I just like none of that happened, did it, Stephen?
Yeah. So that was the last of it. We see him.
Yep.
There wasn't much of him. So at first I was like, Emma has a
Well, no, he
lot
comes
of,
back.
no, he does. I'm about to
Okay.
say that. I'm just like,
Right.
Emma has a lot of hangups. I had that note in the very beginning because it was like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, I don't want to. And Steven was like, I didn't know who he was at the time. He was just like, hey, we're here to date. Like, let's just talk. And she just seemed uncomfortable and didn't
Hmm.
want to share stuff. And then we get to the point of, I think you should be more open. I think she said that.
Yeah.
And you should talk about that. You don't need to be uncomfortable. But then he swings it over to, can you share a story? Can you share a story about your first kiss? And she's like, yeah, I'm not comfortable, talking about that. Now, it's not a big deal question to me personally, but she does say I'm not comfortable. And if she says that, just let it be, or
Yeah.
maybe make her more comfortable with you, and then she wants to share the story. But then he just keeps going like, how old were you? Oh, if you don't mind, how old were you when you lost your virginity? I'm like, okay, she's not comfortable talking about her first kiss. You think she wants to talk about her virginity, because it's not that they're both talking. We are in on it. The
Mm-hmm.
world is watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, this was also after he was like, because this started off with him basically saying like, okay, so let's get deeper, let's get more serious, whatever. She got sad, I think, talking about her surgeries and all that. He's like, oh, you feeling sad over there? Is that what's going on? You feeling sad? I'll make you happy. Tell you about the first time you had a kiss. I'm just like, well, that's a weird way to go. His story felt, again, fake and curated and made up, and just like, okay, this is stupid as hell. Then his losing his virginity story was also just like, this does not sound like a real story. Everything he said felt like he was trying to get her heart to melt for him, and she was just like, I don't want to talk about this. This is not what when I said I wanted to get deeper, I did not mean, talk about exes and past hookups and stuff. That's not what I'm into. He just doesn't pick up on it.
yeah, he doesn't know how to just be a regular human. He feels like he's
Yeah.
doing what he thinks a nice guy would do. Because when he talked about the virginity and he was like, "Oh, she was waiting for me. I didn't ask her to. She was the one who, was doing that." And
Mm-hmm.
then he skips to his story where he says, "Oh man, my first time was so great," which was like while she's all uncomfortable. He just wanted to talk about himself. And then he
Yep.
was like, "It was like the Notebook." And she was like, "Oh, I've never seen the Notebook." And he's like, "What? There's a scene there. That scene where Rachel McAdams couldn't deny him."
Yep.
Ew.
That part, and him saying that
Ew.
she thanked me for not pressuring her. And I'm like, oh, so you pressured the hell out of her, didn't you? I know you did. And just like, yeah, all of this. Listen, man, the Notebook is what, 25 years old at this point? Like, it's an old men who don't really seem to value women a whole lot or have a lot of women in their life. Stop defaulting to the Notebook as
Notebook,
like
yes.
your story for everything. There's other movies that are romantic.
He's cosplaying. He doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So he just
Yeah.
thinks that's the default. And that's what,
I'm saying
like,
stuff that the podcasters told me women want to hear me say.
So yeah, so she started saying like, I don't, I'm not feeling good about this conversation. And then he's clearly irritated by her just expressing herself and going back and forth. So yeah, I did say like she had a lot of hangups, but in this situation, if she's not comfortable, she doesn't have to talk about it. It's something personal to her.
Mm-hmm.
And he was not picking up on that. In fact, I think he was like going back and forth with her, trying to say, no, I didn't. I was listening. I was intent. I was
Yep.
at like, again, was she a little bit too, she seemed in distress. That's the other thing. And to me, besides this situation, I was just like, is she ready to be here? That was just like a question I had for a number of them
Yeah.
on here. So at some point, I think he picked up his shoes. I thought he was going to walk out.
I thought so too. I think I wonder almost if she was like just picking up the energy coming through the wall,
From
where
him,
it's
yeah.
like the same way that I felt like everything was fake and curated. Like, I wonder if she was just like, I don't feel comfortable with this man. I don't know why, but I don't
Yeah.
like how he's presenting himself, essentially.
Yes, I couldn't tell because we had just met Emma and I already had my thought about her. Like she just seemed uncomfortable. And I couldn't
Mhm.
tell if it was like she was picking up the energy or if she was just being Emma or the
Yeah.
Emma that I thought, that she was. But now we don't see him anymore. We don't see Steven
Thank God.
anymore. He was gone and that's it. But then Emma is now part of would you call it a square with
Yeah.
Bree and
A
Connor
rhombus.
and Chris and Jess. Jess is 38 and 6 years older than Chris. And he also has a connection. Did he have a connection with Emma? Connor
Ye-
did.
Yeah, Connor did. Was it with Chris was with Bree? Wasn't Chris? Yeah, because yeah.
Yeah, so Bree,
See,
Connor, Chris, and Jess. Yes.
we talked about this before we started recording. I can't tell any of these men apart because there's like 75 white dudes with beards and dark hair, and I'm
Yes.
like, they all look the same to me. I'm not trying to sound racist,
Yes.
but like they all look the same. So I had a really hard time telling who was who.
Yes. I mean, they even joked about it when they had the meetup that you could interchange Chris and Connor
Yeah,
on there for that. It's crazy how you
here
pick
comes
your
Alex.
type. Yes, on there. Okay, so Jess is 38, 6 years older than Chris. And then Chris meets, who meets Breezy? Well, we get introduced to Breezy. And I can't remember who it was. And the person was like, oh man, her name is Brianna. But it's like, Breezy is one of the coolest names. And I'm like, you need to live out, go outside more. Have you never heard Chris Brown being called Breezy? There's literally a skier right now being called Breezy. Like, it's
Hmm.
not that unique. Like, it's
That was Chris. Because in my mind, I'm like, how have
okay.
you not heard Chris Breezy? Like, how do you not make that joke? I would not joke about Chris Brown. He's terrible. But like,
Well,
how did you not make that association?
it's the great divide in entertainment. It's like a whole word.
Truly,
Like, I've never heard that in my life.
it's
But he
wild to
makes
me.
a comment, I think this was Connor who says this because he says this all the time, that Breezy annoys him but makes him laugh. Eventually, after going through all that, Breezy breaks up with Chris. And am I going to call her Breezy like I said Sparkle Megan? Or should I just go Bree?
Man, I don't know. There's not a good answer.
Because it's just odd. When you say Breezy, it's just her. But she breaks up with Chris and he says he was going like, oh, it's funny that you're breaking up with me because I was going to do the same and break up with you.
Hmm.
Then it seemed like she started backtracking, like, I'm the one breaking up, why are you breaking up with me? And she's like, can you tell me who it is? And we should have known what was coming further down the line with this woman. And he's
Yep.
like, oh, let me guess, she didn't even let him answer, is it
No.
Jessica? And then he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
um it is. So she does guess that it is Jess, and then she tells Connor. No, this is Emma. Emma also likes Connor and
Yeah.
says, I want you to explore, but my gut tells me that it's you. And that's the time for Connor to say, hey, I'm going to go with Bree, but he's not saying gibberish. I don't know what he was saying.
Hmm.
And I'm like, just say it. You agreed that you were gonna break up and say all that. So Connor was gonna go for Bree, but then he seemed like he started flaking with Emma. But finally he gets it out and then he says it. So she goes back to the quarters and she's sad and she's crying, and all the girls are hugging her. And I note I kept seeing this woman and I kept saying, like, who is she? But her name finally pops up. Her name is Priyanka. She was in a white shirt and jeans. She was the
Hmm.
agony aunt for everyone else. All she did was
Yep.
hug and comfort the women. Many hugs that was
Hmm.
giving to her. So good for her for being there for them. And it looks like she did not find love.
Didn't even see her at the
So
pods. Not even a good date she went on.
Chris goes with Jess. Connor chooses Breezy. We think it's all done. But the weird thing that I always find weird with Love is Blind is when someone's alleged number one dumps them and
Hmm.
suddenly they have a second wind and they're like, you know what? I'm going to give this person a chance. And at this point, I'm like, y'all are just fighting to go to Mexico, right? It's not that bad. If you save, you can go to Mexico on your own. You don't have to do all this to go to
Yeah.
Cabo. So
Yeah, but
Emma
I wonder
switches.
though. I
Okay, go
when,
ahead.
when I see it, I wonder if it's almost like I was so fixated on it has to be this person that I was kind of subconsciously downplaying the connection that I had with this other person because I thought this is where I was supposed to be and this is what was going to happen. I didn't open my mind up to maybe this person's also a good match. Now that that one is no longer an option, this next date that I have where I'm more open to this going
Hmm.
forward, I realize, oh, we are a really good match. That's probably me being too generous. They probably want to go to Mexico. But I could see, and I'm not gonna like go back and do an investigation. I'm wondering if we've seen this happen before, where the couples do work out like great once they kind of get past the initial heartbreak. It's
They
probably happened.
never last. They have it because I remember my first thought was Iana and was it Jarrett? I can't remember his name,
Yeah,
where
Jared.
she was like second choice. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I think that's it for me. Emma just said, in my gut, you're number one. You're the one I
Hmm.
feel safe. And then all of a sudden that just went away. And now, Mike, oh my God, you're the one who I want. I just don't feel like your feelings should be dependent on how the other person decides. If one person decides to dump you, that suddenly doesn't mean, okay, I can find another person that I like. It's the same thing with, was it Patrick and Casey?
Yeah.
Or, things
Yeah.
like that. It never really truly lasts. It should be like, I love you so much. You don't want to be with me. Oh, well, I guess my time is up here. I never understand the quick switch up. I get
Yeah,
if
no,
you were
that's
so
fair.
sure that this person was your person. If it's able to be malleable and you can switch it immediately, it's a side eye
let
for
me
me.
devil's advocate for a sec.
Okay.
What if this was day 3? Like you got dumped on day 3. You have 7 days left. And it's like I felt that strongly after 3 days.
Yes.
I wonder if I could find that with somebody else and also feel that strongly after 3 more days or
Okay,
4
that's
days this
fair.
time. So like I
That's
just
fair.
don't know.
That's fair. I always have to remember the hidden cast member is the edits.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's fair because it is what 10 days
Yeah, it's 10
that they're in
days.
there. These people are falling in love in 2 days. So who knows
Hmm.
what is happening? Okay, so Emma goes to Mike, and please, have we met Mike?
No, but he's a bearded white man. So, like he matches all the other ones.
I'm like, he popped up from nowhere, and all of a sudden,
Uh-huh.
like he's on there. But she is honest about it that hey, he broke up with me, and this is it. And he's like, huh, okay.
Hmm.
But also, I don't want to be second choice. They broke up with you, so if they didn't break up with you, you wouldn't be here. But they want to go to Mexico so bad, they're like,
Yeah,
okay, we'll give it a chance. So
we'll see.
Emma gives this man what I consider homework. I guess some people consider it romantic. She brought all the letters that her
Hmm.
mama wrote every Christmas. And then they gave us homework too, because he read
Yeah,
it and it was so long and we had to listen to it. I'm like, edit this out. We
yeah.
don't need
Come
six
back with a book report.
episodes.
And
So
like we do this at Christmas time with my in-laws. They collect all the Christmas cards and then we sit down and read them, but we read them as well we are Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are giving reads on these like why are you telling me all this garbage? I don't need to know about any of this mess you're telling me. Like we make fun of these cards when it's a whole year-long story. To us, it's not a sweet thing. It's not like an endearing thing. It's too much.
yeah, it's just like there was a stack. It wasn't like she brought
Yeah.
one or two, take that back to your quarters, and then read that.
It's a
It
full
was
life
like a
story.
whole stack to read on there. So the main thing also with Emma is because she's not trying to have kids, but all the men are trying to convince her
Aggressively.
that she is going to want to have kids. She wasn't going to mention her adoption, but I think was it Steve that said, "Hey, how about adoption?" Because he didn't care
Yeah.
about that, and then you could tell her just go, because she wasn't going to say anything to anyone about it, but she did eventually tell him, and I think because she told him, she had to tell all her connections, not
Yeah.
only about the adoption, but also about the surgeries that she's had to have. And
Hmm.
listen, as someone who's had a medical condition, like every time I have to recount it to maybe like a new doctor or something, it is a lot mentally. So I felt for her that the fact that she had to say it over and over and over again and just relive the whole thing. Because I can't imagine how painful those surgeries were for her
Yeah.
to go through and mentally. Because sometimes when you have surgeries, something it's not just the physical, the mental is just crazy for you to heal, from that. So kudos to her
Yep.
for just telling each of them the story. But Connor keeps bringing up kids, and I knew that man wasn't going to go with her. Like, he just really, really, wants kids. And I just feel like everyone should be like Gunnar from Love is Blind Sweden. Like, listen, I'm not begging you. Like, this is my stance. Take it or
Yeah.
leave it. And that's it. But I think it's because Emma is coming in as maybe I'm not a no, but this, but you have to know. But it's just the way everyone is like, you'll be a great mom. You don't know. I believe she would know, even if she doesn't know, she's not there yet. So to try and push her towards it, and this is a situation where she does end up with Mike, but it's going to be at the back of his mind, like, no, she's gonna switch and she's
Yeah.
gonna, have a kid. There's just a question mark for me
Yeah.
about that.
Part of it is the reason that she gave, which makes sense to me. Where she's like, I don't know my family history at all. I have no idea family medical history whatsoever. I don't know if the birthmark condition that I was born with is going to be genetic and if my kids might have that as well. And all of that uncertainty is like, I don't, that's what's concerning to her more so than like Gunnar was like, we have too many fucking people on this planet. Like, I don't need to add to that at all. I don't want kids. I never wanted kids. I think her uncertainty, I understand it. It makes sense to me. But
Yeah.
it's a little bit different than being like, I've never wanted kids and I know I don't. It's more like I fear health wise what that would mean for them.
Yes, but it just feels like they're not considering that fact in their
Oh, they are
mind.
not.
It's not a no, so then I'm going to convince her eventually that she's
Hmm.
going to, have a child. They're not facing the possibility that it could still be a no. or giving her
Yeah.
the chance to work through it, when we know it, like, are you willing to accept it if it is a no,
Yeah, it's they're
So,
all in their mind saying eventually it's going to become a yes. So like
yes.
she's a no right now, it'll be a yes by the time we get to, the altar. It's all going to go away for her, which boy, that feels dumb to me.
All right, so that was it for them, and we'll take a break and come back to talk about some other pod adventures.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's February, and if you haven't already, that means pretty soon all around you, commercials, the grocery stores are going to be full of Valentine's candy, flowers, and of course that means lots of talk about dating and relationships. No matter what your relationship status, married, dating, single, or just focusing on you, you're right on time. Because much like adulting, we are all just trying to figure it out, and therapy can help you find your way and see more clearly where you want to be. With over 12 years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate, BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. And it works because BetterHelp has an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com. That's better, HELP.com.
And we're back. Let's talk about Jordan and Amber. I appreciate that Jordan was very open. Like he said, when I was interviewing, I told him my deal breaker was no children. So
Yeah.
now I'm
Yeah.
in love with somebody who has a 7-year-old daughter, and that's Amber. Amber claims she's 33.
That's what I said too. I'm like 33, huh? Because we see, I think Christine is also 33, and I'm like, put y'all two side by side. Word? Like, we're sure?
But we're rolling with it. She is 33.
I'll
And
suspend disbelief.
she has a 7-year-old daughter, and she didn't drag it out. It was just like, hey, I have a daughter, and this is we're a package deal with that. And her
Mhm.
daughter is 7. So they're getting along well. Like they ate a lot this season.
Yeah.
Netflix was like, nope, there's food here. In fact, Jordan likes to cook, so he was making like breakfast, a whole meal in there.
Yep.
They were eating in the pots. He was funneling his tacos. And it was just funny because Jordan is a husky man. And at
Mhm.
some point, she was like, oh, I don't care what you look like, as long as you're not 60 years old and fat and nasty. And he's like, I'm not
2 out of 3 ain't
60.
bad. I'm not nasty.
So so that was it for them. They have a connection over there. So we have Jordan and Amber. Then we have a triangle with Kevin, Tyler, and Kaya.
Yeah. Kia, I think. Kia. What a mess this was.
So Tyler seems like the typical maths ready bride. My man, my man, my man, just give me somebody and we are going to make it work together.
Yep.
And she'll do anything for her man. Kevin is I don't know where he is. He's in a city in Ohio. And she's
I forget where he's at.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Columbus or something.
She's in Cincinnati. I know that.
Yes, she's willing to move. This seems like a solution. No, I don't want you to move for me and then resentment. You should want to move for something else. We came here for she's willing to move. It's okay. But no, he has a problem with that. Then we have Kia, who I aspire to be when I grow up. Unbothered, cool, calm, collected, just eating her snack. She was always eating, but she's just like, not my problem. You're freaking out. Not my problem. That has nothing to do with me. So Kia and Tyler like Kevin, and they're not talking about it to each other. Tyler is very expressive. Tyler is very intense, for lack of a better word. And Kia is the complete opposite. Very, like I said, cool, calm. She's just like, I like this man. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I'm not going to stress myself. So I was just surprised that they didn't know that they were both dating the same man. Or someone like Kia, I'm sure that she knew. And she's just like, not my problem. I'm focused on...
I never know how that works. Because I understand why you don't want to say somebody's name because... it hurts somebody's feelings, competition, whatever. But at the same point, then just don't talk about your dates at all. But to come back and be like, this person I'm dating is amazing. Here's 1,000 hints. You could easily figure out who it is. I'm not saying a name, though.
She was marking her territory. And also, he was in Columbus. So him stressing over it, I was already annoyed. I wanted to kick Kevin out myself personally because this is just, what is this indecisiveness? I already don't like indecisiveness as a quality, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just like you know what you're coming in here for, and all of a sudden it's so hard to pick between two women. Like, stop that. Tyler decides for him. Tyler's like, if you can't decide, I'm just gonna go. He was sharing his feelings, like, oh, you're a great woman. It did sound like a breakup speech. Miss me with that. That's
Yep.
not what I was doing. You're telling her I'm so great. And Tyler was so triggered because she has heard a million and one speeches of how great she was, but
Yep.
you're
I know I'm
just
great.
my buddy. And she's like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not gonna do this. And she's crying. And she's in the confessional. And then I think the producer's kind of like, he didn't say he's not choosing you though. She goes, oh, so should I go back? Would he even want to see me? I'm like, relax. Again, it's not a thing for me. So I'm always like in awe of people who are not able to keep their emotions in check. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so reactive, so explosive. And I'm like, I'm sure it hasn't worked out every time, but every time that happens, don't you learn from that? Like count to 10. Just take a deep breath
Yeah. Well,
and
my problem
see
with
what
him,
happens.
my problem with him in general is he said like the exact same thing over and over again. You're so amazing. You're an
Yeah.
amazing woman. You're amazing. Like, brother, pick one. Pick one. You can't keep on telling both of them you're amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
you're just so amazing. I was like, get this man a thesaurus, do something. This is not hitting for me.
And also, no answer is an answer. If you can't pick between the two women, pick your damn self and get out,
Yeah.
on here. But Tyler's breakup was so dramatic that she came back to the quarters. I'm not going to do this. She tells all the girls she did all that. And Kay is just cutting her fruit. And she's just like, I had a great date. I don't know what all this is about. And as she's leaving, she goes to Kia and she's, wait, Kia?
Yeah.
It just feels
Yeah.
wrong when I say it.
It
Okay.
does.
So she goes to Kia and then she's like, you have a great man. I know who you're dating. She has a great man. And then she's just like, let's not play victim. And I feel like we're missing something in that edit. I just don't know
Yeah.
how she landed on let's not play victim. And I know later on she apologized and was like, oh, I'm sorry for ambushing you. I'm like, okay, what did we
She
miss
she kept on
in that
saying like, we know what
discussion?
we signed up for. We signed up for
Yeah.
this, and we all know we're dating multiple people. Like, so I think I don't know where that let's not play victim thing came from, but I feel like it's attached to that, where it's like, let's not act like we're not all dating multiple people and we're cheating on somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt to me.
I don't know. Anyway, after all that ruckus, she comes back and says, redo.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
insanity. But
In
also,
like a 3-minute span.
yes, but also for Kevin. I mean, she was there, she apologized. And then even for him, if you know you're not going to choose her, why would you let her come back? If you're
Right.
unsure, that's a huge risk because if you do it again a second time, what
Mhm.
is the point of that? But anyways, he has a date with Kia and he gives her a gift.
Yeah.
Does not give Tyler a gift. Gives Kia a
Mm-mm.
gift, an intentional gift of a basketball, that she's talked about and she plays ball. No, does she play ball or she's into basketball? One or the other.
She used to
She
work for the
worked for the
Cavs.
Cavs, yes.
Yeah.
And all that. And I'm like, clearly you're leaning towards Kia. Like his demeanor
Mhm.
was very different when he spoke about Kia. And she takes it back. She doesn't make a huge show about it. She's just like, oh, I got a gift. You can't hide the big box that it
Right.
was
It's
on
a
there.
basketball.
Tyler goes right back in there and she's like, listen, I just need to know. I need you to pick one. And she basically makes a demand. And then Kevin, the man, spineless man that he is, okay, I choose you. And I'm like,
Yep.
you just gave a gift to someone. And then she's like, so I'm your girlfriend? He goes, yo, my girlfriend. I'm like, bruh.
He said like for the moment or like in this moment or something like that. He qualified it with a time statement. He's like, right now, you're my girlfriend. And I was like, right now? That's what we're doing?
She goes to take a break. It's supposed to be a bathroom break, but I think she runs into, was it Emma and somebody else? And they were asking like,
Yeah.
wait, but Kia just had a great date. And then now you're his girlfriend. Like something doesn't feel right. And then she comes back and she's like, this is what they said. I don't feel good. Like I felt good when you said that a minute ago, but now I'm not sure how this is happening. And then he starts going like, you're a great person. It
You're
was so
amazing.
confusing that Tyler had to look dead in the camera and be like, am
Yup.
I crazy? Like,
She
what?
went full Jim from The Office. Like, you hear this, right?
But she was right. If you're confused the day before the proposal, go home. If you're not able to pick, if you
Mhm.
don't know who is going to be, but she wasn't playing. She told him like, if you're not gonna pick me, like, fine. And the second time, she says goodbye to the girls and she does not show up to the date. The guys have
Yep.
to give Kevin a pep talk and she does not show up. I'm like, good for you. So Kia walks into the room. She's all dressed up. I think it was proposal day.
I
And it's
think
that
so.
thing that I'm saying where someone dumps you and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they made the decision for me. And then you want to go for the second person. And he starts that, you're great, the calm that I feel when yada yada yada. And Kia stood up and is like, yeah, you're not ready for this. I
Yep.
squealed with glee. She's
I was
just
so
like,
happy.
you need to get your shit together. Like, I'm not gonna pick myself. I'm not gonna do this. And the thing is, I think Kevin liked Kia. I think he felt he's not good enough for her. You shouldn't even, this another person should not be on the show. If you're leading with, I'm just a simple guy. I worked for everything that I have. I take care of my mom. I just drive a simple Chevy Cruze. I just like, you're already judging yourself where no one has judged you about that yet. And if you don't feel confident about that, somebody else is not going to do that for you. And yes,
Exactly.
Kia is a grounded woman and she's saying, like, oh, it doesn't matter and all that. But it's also not her burden to bear to be like,
Mm-mm.
you're fine, you're good, you're great. I mean, it works for Jamie and Doug, but I don't know.
Well,
So, but I don't want to
Jesus.
put that on her. So I
No.
think that's what it was, is that he just got freaked out that he wasn't good enough for her.
Hmm.
And he should have just made the right choice and gone home. He should have self-evicted a long time ago and not have this happen. But standing
Yep.
ovation to Kia for telling him that he needed to get his shit together, and she doesn't even know why he's here because he shouldn't have been here. So
Yeah. And I mean, he didn't even really like get angry when he heard that or anything. She's just
yeah.
like, listen, you're going to make a great husband for somebody
Mhm.
else later on, but like, you're not ready for any of this right now. And he's like,
Mhm.
because really, if he would have just done what he wanted to do, which is to go all in with Kia and just say, listen, okay, so she left. Now it's me and you. I'm committed to this, whatever. Instead, he's like, no, I still don't know. You're my girlfriend, Tyler, but I gave this basketball and you guys are both amazing. I'm just like, you have got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Pick one. I don't even care which one it is anymore. Pick
Yeah.
one and just go that
Go
direction.
with it. Yep. Okay, we have Brittany and Devontae with an A.
Uh-oh.
There's not much about them in the pod, but the highlights for them is that he is like who was Emily's husband on Maths? Not Brent.
God, Emily. I don't know.
Yeah, Emily in the Denver season. Not it wasn't Brennan. Is it Brennan?
No, because Brennan and Emily was Maths. Yes, that was
Yes.
Brennan and Emily.
Brennan
I was
and Emily,
thinking Love
yeah.
Is Blind in Denver.
No, Brennan. It's the same thing. You can't leave me until I die. We are together forever. Devontae is like, people these days, they just leave so easily for little things. Like, that's a red flag. Anyone
Yeah.
who's comparing it to our grandparents had this love and yeah, that's a red flag. But
Your grandparents didn't have no fault divorce, so
yeah.
it wasn't an option for them.
I will say though, his grandpa passed away during filming. Like it wasn't like on camera.
Yeah.
The producer, he tells the story of the producers calling him aside to say that his grandpa passed. And then the last thing is that Brittany is celibate at this point. I don't know if I saw or missed an actual conversation where Devontae is like, yeah, that's fine, that's okay, but she is celibate in quotation
Clock that.
marks. Yeah. Then we have Emma and no, I've talked about Emma and Connor. We have Alex and Ashley. They sprung them on us. The last minute, they just came up on there and then showed us a bunch of flashbacks. And then we got a proposal. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. But Alex did tell some story. He's the one talking about his friends left him in his locker. And he realized that, they weren't his real friends. They didn't wait for him to get drafted. I don't like Alex, guys.
No.
Just to let you know.
He says so many things that I'm just like, this man is not a good guy.
Person. Yeah.
I don't know if I told you before. I had a friend who played professional basketball in Spain for a number of years. He reminds me of that guy, where it's just like your whole personality for your whole life has been, I'm really good at this sport. Because I'm really good at it, I'm also like athletic and traditionally good looking. And this is all I need, is just to be like hot and good at sports. And it seems like that's all this man has. He talks about soccer constantly, talks about like, I know what I look like and I know what I can get. He just seems so self-centered.
Yeah.
And everything is based on, I used to be really good at soccer.
Yeah, I forgot to look him up because I didn't want any spoilers, but I was gonna check. I was like, listen, I'm a soccer person, and I'm like, it's like, who did you play for that you feel like you are like the greatest? But I'm gonna do
It was
that by
definitely
the next batch.
MLS. Yeah, I
Which
don't
is
know what
even
city, but
more like we soccer people look down on MLS, but that's besides the point.
well,
But
we
I'm gonna
should.
look it up. I'm gonna look it up just to see what he is because he talked about other countries, and I'm just like, where are you? Like, what league? So I will look it up. But yes, that's it with Alex and Ashley. Then we have Vic and Christine. They were there for 5 seconds, got engaged, and then they were out. But I
Yeah.
feel like Victor asked all the right questions on there. He was just like, "Are you Christian?" Because if that's part of his faith, do your
hmm
parents know you're here? Because that is also a pet peeve. You can't spring up
hmm
on your parents and say, "Oh, I'm here," and then they have to adjust to it when you've had like 4 weeks to adjust to the whole thing. Because we were like, "Oh, I didn't tell them." And then one question that Christine asked, or whoever, do you smoke? And I'm like, if you
Yeah.
ask that question, specify, please. What do
I was
we
wondering,
mean by
do I
do
smoke
you
what?
smoke? But I mean, they have a shared interest. They both have a misdemeanor for weed. So, that was all the
Yeah,
conversation they had. They proposed to each other. They looked really good together. And Vic,
they
let me
did.
tell you, that's a voice. That is a voice
hmm
for radio. I'm not saying he's ugly. I mean, like, genuinely, his
No.
voice is so calming that you
Well,
can
and
listen to him to fall
somebody,
asleep.
I don't know if it was Tyler, somebody said that he sounded like a phone sex operator. So I'm like, yeah, his voice is, he sounds like the quiet storm. Like his voice is deep and low and calm.
Yes, it is. Um, I don't understand why they just don't do all the proposals in one day. It is weird that Vic and Christine, they did the proposal, they're supposed to be gone, then they go back to the
hmm
storylines, and then you see Vic in there and you're like, how am I supposed to adjust? But if you just do it in one day and everyone does it, then you can get the storyline to continue.
Well,
I
I
don't know.
think they do that. I think proposals have to be on day 10. But like, if that's the case,
No, I mean
don't
show
show
it to us.
me
Yes.
yes. Because
Show us.
their whole pod interaction was told in montage. And it was obviously multiple days because their outfits kept on changing. So I'm like, y'all have been in this for 9, 10 days. Show me
Yeah.
this at the end with everyone else.
Yes, sorry. I said the wrong thing. I mean like show us all at the same time. They're
Yes.
all done on the same day. Everyone knows that a proposal is
hmm
coming that day because I think when Tyler was yelling at Kevin, she's like, "You're supposed to propose in 2 days or the next
Yeah.
day or something like that." But I mean
Yeah.
like just have a episode, I don't know, 2, 3 where everyone's together and the same way you do reveals, you just be like proposal
Yep.
day and then show the proposals. But for us to see them, so in our minds they're gone, we know they're not gone, but then you go back and then there's a whole story. Again, something happened with someone else. I can't remember what it was, where we're talking about they're engaged, but we now have to act like they're not, and then they're involved in another storyline. And I'm like, this is just forward,
Yeah.
backwards.
For
So,
me, it only made sense to do it that way the first season. So we can get hooked early and we can
mhm.
go, oh, people are actually getting engaged and we're going to see somebody meet each other. After the first season, when we know the structure of the show, it makes way more sense to have like episodes 1 and 2 just be pods. Episode 3, proposals, episode 4, reveals, and then 5 and 6 were on the retreat. I don't know why they structure it this way. I
Yeah,
don't get it.
yeah. All right. Well, that's it for all the pod conversation. I will take a break and we will talk about the reveals.
Conversations about GLP-1 are all the rage these days, and it almost always centers around weight loss. It's been eye-opening to realize that there are way more benefits that go beyond the scale, like better lab numbers, more energy, and new levels of confidence. One of the scary parts about using a GLP-1 for most people are the self-administered shots because they can be intimidating. But guess what? Ro now offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. That's one daily pill for fewer cravings and feeling fuller with an innovative new formula clinically proven to maximize weight loss. All this and more is why I'd go with Ro if I ever wanted to start a GLP-1 journey. Go to ro.co/alter to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/altar to get started on Ro. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warnings and full safety information about GLP-1 medication.
And we're back. I think they've learned their lesson. And now we have substitutes because we have what, 7
There's
couples
7 couples this time.
going? because we're like, yeah, like 3 of these are gonna drop out and we're gonna have nothing
We're gonna be on 2 couples with 4 episodes to go.
to show for this. Okay, so I am going through the reveals in order of how they got engaged or how they showed it to us. So Vic and Christine were the first that they showed. They said, "I love you," and Vic just has such calming energy. He's
Hmm.
tall, they're cute, but they felt like they were in a different show, which is a good thing, honestly.
Yeah.
And they're both wearing black. They just seem to fit. They kiss, and I just kept wondering, what would it be like if I was watching my college professor on a show? He's a college professor, guys, and he's just on a show like this, and I'm just watching him say all these things. Like, it just seems awkward, but hey, it
I
means nothing.
mean, my ASL 4. So I took sign language in college. My ASL 4 professor in the early days of Facebook, he used to be a stripper. On spring break, he went back to his old strip club, and there's pictures of like him and his boyfriend on the pole together. And he came back, and we had the pictures, and he was just like, "You guys aren't supposed to see this. I didn't realize you guys were gonna know." So I'd probably, if I was in college, I'd laugh about it. If I was the professor, I'd be like, "Oh, this is pretty embarrassing."
Yes, sounds about right. They stare at each other really intense. He pays her compliments. He proposes. There was no awkwardness at all. So, because they were the first, my notes were like, oh, they don't sit and chat, but everything's changed. They don't sit to the side anymore. They have to
Mm-mm.
walk over to the room. There's champagne over there, and there's a chair, and they can talk over there. So, that was their reveal. Then we had Jordan and Amber. She's in a pose. Amber is kind of odd. She says it all the time, but it's true. She is odd. And she's the only one that kind of has like a, I don't know if it's a Midwestern accent, but it's like a Midwestern housewife accent that I've seen on TV. That's,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what
It's
it
not
is.
one of the ones that I know.
Okay, it doesn't accent, but it's an accent though, right?
There's an accent, yeah.
And she has, and I just thought it was Midwestern. So yeah, she's in a pose. Her boobs are all out. They have an awkward hug, but then he grabs her for a kiss. I'm not going to try to understand what she was wearing because it was a dress, but then it was lace at the back. So I don't know. She, when everyone says, "Oh, he's cute, he's nice," she's just like, he has a nice smile, he has eyes that light up, but
Mhm.
she's good, she's fine, with it. And she tells him like, "This is the second best moment of my life," and he gave her a letter that he wrote for her. So yes, it was cute.
Yeah.
It
I
was
was
nice.
nervous at first, but I think it came around just fine for
Yes,
her.
yes, it came around because in general, I was about to say women are more accepting, but I don't know. I'm thinking about the international versions. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
So,
I think they do a better job of masking,
of mess.
basically.
We have Ashley and Alex. Alex is the one who's the soccer player, and Ashley basically, she does look like a wag. She's like
Mhm.
blonde and tall and thin, and he's the one who lets us know that he was an athlete. He hangs
Yeah.
out with
Over and over
fellow
again.
athletes, and that he says this weird speech. And when they stop playing sports at 35, they realize that the wives don't look as good. I thought he meant the athletes don't look as good. So I watched it again, and it
Nope.
was like the women, they stopped playing. So they were not looking at their wives while they were playing. But when they stopped, they looked
Mhm.
at them. They don't look as good as they used to. But he, the almighty Alex,
Yeah.
is in a very good shell. And he basically
And people
sounds
tell me it's a good shell.
like a dick. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, you play sports. I was gonna say, like, Brian, you watch all of the sport. At the time, I didn't even know it was soccer because I've been
Mhm.
glazing out the time it was soccer. So I was gonna be like, if Brian doesn't know him, if he's like football or something, then then you're nobody. But then I realized it was soccer, and I was like, okay, I don't know you. I don't listen.
Well,
Maybe it's like Colton. Colton's like, I'm a football player. We're a football player. You were not.
not. It was so he's not actively a soccer player anymore.
Yeah, I know.
He played soccer, he got hurt, now he coaches soccer. So I'm just like, how much
Does
hanging
he
out with
coach
professional
kids?
athletes?
Who is he
I don't know what he
coaching?
coaches because I
This man
think when
can
he
be
was
coaching grown men.
I have no idea. I think when he was talking about that he has moved to 3 different countries to do his job or whatever, I'm like, was that playing soccer? What were you doing? Because he's not old. He's like what, 33? So it's not like he's
He's 30.
50 years old and yeah,
Ashley's
so
33.
allegedly. Oh no, Ashley is 33. I don't know what he was talking about because the way that he made it sound is like, well, yeah, when you're a professional athlete, you're playing all around the world and you're basically cheating on your wife with all these hot 25-year-olds. And then you
Mhm.
retire like, oh God, this is what you really look like, huh? And I'm out on that. I'm just like, do you think you sound good right now? Is this a positive for you?
um, he was a goalie.
Okay. All right.
He was a
There's
goalie.
okay.
He was a second round draft pick in the MLS Super Draft. And okay, that's why the Tim Howard came up because Tim is a goalie.
Yeah.
They said
All
he
right.
now
I
works
mean,
in financial sales. He didn't mention that.
he says he's a soccer coach. There's a lot of problems with this man.
I still don't see who he coaches.
It might be
Yeah.
kids, or it might be like at a high school or something like that. Why don't you? I don't know. I'm looking forward to his downfall essentially. Because I don't think it's gonna last that long.
But anyways, he's very sad because his friends didn't wait to be there for him when he was drafted. I was like, where was his family?
I figured he was with his family, and he said his friends got excited when somebody else got drafted. Like, all right, we have to go play. We have to get out there and play, and he could not
Yeah.
play. So I'm like, all right. So they left you like with your mom and dad and probably siblings to watch you get drafted because they were excited to go play soccer. Okay,
Yeah.
like I get that.
Okay. They meet. They're evenly yoked aesthetically.
Mhm.
I think they kiss immediately. He tells her she looks gorgeous. He proposes. She calls him tall, dark, and handsome. I roll my eyes because that means something different to me. If you say tall, dark, and handsome, they can't stop kissing. They say I love you, and he's like, it feels like winning a championship. I'm like, ugh.
Enough.
He walks
We
back
get it.
to his side, and this man's pants are flooded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
See
the
his
talk,
whole shin bone.
and you couldn't get your pants to get to your ankles at least. And
Right.
also,
I mean,
she had a
it's.
jacket. Where did she get a jacket from?
I don't know where she got. I don't feel anything for this whole couple. I'm just like, y'all. I
It's
get it. You guys are both
superficial.
good looking. I got
Yeah.
nothing for you.
That's it. It's superficial.
Yeah.
We have Jess and Chris. Like I mentioned, Jess is 38. Chris is 32. It is smiles all around. Chris is a short king. We get a kiss. He proposes. They have their chat. All seems well. She thinks he's gorgeous. It's great. There's all
Mhm.
things going well. Connor and Bree. Bree is Breezy.
Mhm.
Bree's 33, and I guess it's just banter, but he says it again that she annoys me, but she never stops talking, but also I never want her to stop talking. But before the reveal, he says he has insecurities. I don't know if she's gonna like what she sees, but they're all smiles. He says she's gorgeous, and then they kiss. And then we have Devontae with an A with Brittany, and he says, wow, it was truly blind. She didn't share. No, she said that this was truly blind. She didn't share that she was Latina. He looked so dorky in his too tight suit.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
it was very silent. They kiss, they hug as he's going,
Yeah.
and she says,
Yeah.
I was expecting someone bigger, and he's shorter than I expected. They sit to talk, and she's like, I did not expect the freckles. That she's
Mhm.
not someone that he would go no, that he's not someone she would go for, but she doesn't care. And she's like, and then she says, I mean, we're all gonna get fat one day. He's still handsome.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Well, and
whoa.
my thing with him, he was like, yeah, I never consider that she would not be white, essentially. And just like he said, he never dated
Hold on,
a person
I'm
of
gonna
color.
set it up. I gotta say
Okay.
it right. I'm gonna get there because that is a major thing. But
Mhm.
I mean, for those who are not watching and are just listening, like Devontae, he's I want to say he's husky too. He's
He
not
is.
he's not a small man. Let me put
Yeah.
it that way. So this man sits down in his Devontae sounds like he just inhaled a bunch of helium in his
Yep.
voice. This is how he sounds permanently. He also looks like, it's not an insult. It's just who I saw first. Take it as you will. Count Dracula. They
Oh.
have the same. No, not like they have the same shape or face. And he seems to speak like,
That's fair.
when the angle of the camera is like way up high and you're looking up your notes, that he always seems to have his head in that position. And he always looks disinterested, like, I don't want to be here. So
Yeah.
he's just talking that way. So he's talking, do his confessional, doing that thing, and he's just like, I'm quoting, I fell in love with Brittany. She just so happened to be a woman of color. I quote, a man named Devontae with an
Devontae.
A.
Yeah. Yeah. I it was bizarre to me because I think at one point it's like I didn't care what race she was, and I'm like, it sounds like you do, and that's weird. That's a weird thing for you to say.
I don't know where to start from this because I mean he continues to say like, oh, he said it's just something I've never dated, something,
Mm-hmm.
let alone proposed to or engaged to. He made it seem like this is a stain. We are going to mess up his bloodline. Devontae with a A.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't understand it. And just to for those who've not seen, Britney's voice does not match Britney's appearance. Like she,
Oh,
I
we're
don't
gonna get there
sounding.
because that's a
Yeah,
problem too. But go ahead.
yeah. Sounding white isn't a thing, but like if you told me she was code switching, I'd be like, yeah, no, I believe that. This sounds like her like work voice more than anything else.
Mm-mm.
Um, and he seemed like not like negatively shocked is the
Yes.
best way to put it. Like, oh shit, what? Oh no.
It's something I've never dated, let alone proposed to. If you see Devonte, yes, you can tell that Devonte is biracial, right?
Mhm.
He's light skinned, he has curly hair, and apparently these eyes that they're so in love with, it felt like Love Island UK, where people are obsessed with your hair color and your eye color.
Mhm.
And I can't see it because Brittany just won't stop talking about it. Because Brittany has her own thing, which I will get to when she's in
Mhm.
when we're in Mexico. But you can tell, but I don't know if he really truly thinks that he is white. Like, what are you saying? And
I don't know.
what is your thought process when you say something like that? So she happened to be a woman of color. Like, okay, you are a person of color as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
We had Patrick last season. Why do we have to do this again? I
I
was
don't
so mad
understand.
last season. And
I
now,
and at least with Patrick, it's like, okay, I could see how,
mm-mm,
you
don't
felt
do
like
it.
stigmatized and whatever. I don't get this one at
Mm-mm.
all. This
Nope.
one is a
I don't
different
get.
level for me.
Let me
It's probably
repeat that
unfair.
I don't get Patrick's. I didn't back then. He's grown. You have access to information, and you
True.
can. We're all. It's not an excuse, but we all got bullied in some way. That's like me
Mhm.
saying, like, "Oh, I was bullied by a certain group of people because I was African, and so therefore I'm not gonna do." Nope. He grew up. He's
Yeah,
grown now. He can fix it.
true. Accurate.
So, anyways, that happened, and I don't know what to do with this. So Devonte gets my permanent side eye for all that because he just seems so disappointed.
Don't worry, it gets worse.
Yeah, but they keep talking about babies. They keep talking about having a baby by reunion. They don't seem to be feeling each other. That was my, thing at that
Mhm.
point where we were, and we shall follow them more in Cabo. Then our
Mhm.
final reveal is Emma and Mike. They're both Emma is 27 and Mike is 29. His biggest concern is that she doesn't want kids, but he is convinced that she wants kids, and this is just annoying. But they
Yep.
kiss, he proposes, her ring was gorgeous,
Yeah.
and he does say, now this is the difference. Mike does say, "Hey, she's Asian. I've never dated a different race before, but she's gorgeous." And then moving on.
Yep.
There wasn't a
That's it.
whole, "I've never done this. I've let alone I proposed to an Asian. Oh my god!"
Yeah. And this is probably unkind. I'm wondering if some of that is because he knows that she was raised by like a white family. Where it's like, okay, yeah, like, culturally we're the same. So I don't know if that's part of this or not.
Man, it's
I know.
so complicated. But
It's
yes,
dark.
I don't know. That's the thing. That's the thing is like everything. And it depends on what, because to her, and that's the other thing, she said, "I don't have any desire to find out
Mhm.
where where I'm from." Because I've said this so many times, but it just keeps coming up. Kristen from the Traders, she was also adopted by a white family. And she also had
Mhm.
that thing where she's like, "I love my family. I don't have any desire. I don't want to know any of that." It wasn't until like one of the cooking shows and she was in, I forget the country that she's actually from. And she's like, she wanted it to be organic. Like, I want to have that desire. And then I'm going to figure out, where I'm from and things
Yeah.
like that. But to your point, you never know. You never know what
Mhm.
anyone's thinking when it comes to this, but it's just hoping that you get on the same page. Like I always think it's like when you have children, which was my gripe with Patrick, is like if you're ready to get married, if you're gonna have children, you should have some, maybe not figure it out completely, but have a hold or semblance of where you stand with things like this, so that when you have children, you're strong enough to know what you're going to teach them in terms of
Yeah.
their identity and what they're, going to have. So that's always my thing about that. So who knows what they think, but let's choose to think the best. That
Yeah.
he's just fine with it. He doesn't have any gripe, but Devontae
There are
said it.
couples I like a lot less than these two. So, let's.
Words came out of his mouth, so we'll see. So we have all our reveals, and then a stupid text comes on my TV and tells me that 6 couples went to Cabo and went to Malibu. And
Mhm.
a why better be the next thing, but no, there was no why. And y'all know how I really hate when there are group activities and people are not there. When Rhonda
Mhm.
wasn't there, that really, really annoyed me. When who was it that didn't go for the honeymoon in, I can't remember what international country. It just, I want to see all of the
I remember
dynamics
that too. Yeah.
together. So I'm like, someone's passport wasn't ready, someone didn't get a visa, was it the misdemeanor? I don't know, but did you find out why?
Misdemeanors. They
I
both
don't
had
know.
one.
do you
Yeah,
know why they didn't go to Malibu?
I do.
I
The
mean, to
official
Cabo.
explanation is not going to satisfy. All right. So I don't know if this is what there really is, but this is what they said. They basically said this season we for the first time had 7 couples that we really wanted to explore their story on the show. Unfortunately, we only had money to send 6 of them to Cabo. So
What?
one of them, yeah, this is what they said. So we had to present the couples with one of them having their own separate vacation from everybody else. And the reason we chose Vic and Christine is because they didn't have as many like interwoven interactions with any of the other couples. So they were kind of already separate from the whole rest of the group. And I think by that they're saying there were no love triangles or love squares with anybody else. They didn't seem to have beef with anybody. They didn't seem to have a super strong friendship with anybody. And so that was the couple that we chose to just send by themselves, and everybody else got to go together.
I'm stunned.
It's dumb as hell. Like,
Wait,
it's dumb.
first of all, why does Love Is Blind not have money? That is one of Netflix's big
Yeah.
money makers. And also, how much extra is it? How much did it cost to go to Malibu? They're in
I don't know.
They're in California. Well,
Yeah.
they had to go back to Ohio.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the way that I'm interpreting it is we didn't plan on having 7 couples. That we're going to have 6. We wound up having 7, and we didn't have one couple that we wanted to like cut out of the show entirely. Because I know in the past there's been couples who have gotten engaged and like not been featured on the show. So I think they were just like, we have 7 couples. Some of these are going to break up. We need to keep all 7 of them. We didn't budget or we didn't book 6 rooms at this resort, and now we can't book another one because they're full or short notice or whatever. So we'll just find somewhere else to send them and have them go by themselves. It's kind of how it feels. It's
But of
not
all the
satisfying
couples, why Vic and Christine?
because they weren't going to fight with anybody else, and they weren't going to get jealous about seeing their partner talk to somebody
It
else.
doesn't matter. You know what? They don't even really care anyways. Like Vic is our only like black representation. Like the least thing they've done. If they were gonna cut people, I would cut Devontae. Yes, personal beef forever.
Sure.
And
Sure. If it's me, I'm cutting Alex and Ashley. Y'all are just hot and boring. Like, I don't need you on my show. Get out of here. Beat it.
that's true.
But yeah, that was the explanation where I'm just like, that's why, huh? That's why? Just because they weren't going to have like drama with
Okay,
other
but
couples?
here's the thing: if you don't have enough money, don't go to Cabo. Let all of them stay in
Sure.
America and be in Malibu if that's cheaper.
Yeah,
But
we're all
I
going to
think
Malibu.
everyone. Yeah. Oh, I don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't like
No,
that
it's
at all.
not. It's not a good explanation at all.
By the way, if you guys remember, I want to say her name was Ellie, the one who put nail glue in her eye. She did get engaged.
Alyssa, I think was her name, the nurse. She got engaged?
Yes, she did. I actually wrote her name down. I think it was Ellie. Well, Alyssa is Ellie. So
Did we even see her in the pods?
yeah, she put nail glue in her eye.
No, I saw that part, but did we see her on dates?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm not sure if we did.
6 episodes later, I do not remember.
Yeah, I don't think we saw her date anybody or anything.
Yes, she got engaged, but they have to go back home for a little bit. They film so the first season, the pods were in Atlanta. Second season, they're in Cali now. They moved the pods to Cali. Then they have to go back home and then they fly out. When they went back to Ohio, wherever they were, he ghosted her. So
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So now we are in Cabo. Devontae and Brittany, they sit down, they're having a conversation. I don't understand this even more. He doesn't know how to say it. He's like, "Yeah, your voice, it does not sound." I'm like, "Does not sound like what?" And she's like, "Yeah, I
Hmm.
sound white." I'm like, "Okay, ma'am, this is why you're together. What do you mean? What does that even to me, I'm just like, you sound American.
Yeah.
I don't understand where this is. And then I don't know if this was said in the pods. She's like, my dad is black and my mom is Colombian. And then he
Yeah.
says, is your mom from Colombia?
Yeah. Which I get is he's like, okay, is she of Colombian descent or is she from Colombia? It doesn't
Brian,
matter.
stop defending these people. What?
I'm
I
not
don't.
defending.
Okay, wait, what do
I'm
you
just
get?
I get the curiosity. That's all.
She, okay,
Just like on well on the season of maps that we're covering right now, right? Like Gil is Colombian. His mom is in Colombia. That to me is different from I am of Colombian descent. My parents and ancestors have been here for like 3 generations. Your cultural ties are going to be different then, is all it
Brian,
is.
words mean things. Is your mom in Colombia? Is your mom, has she ever, like, my dad is black, my mom is Colombian. Is your mom from Colombia? Like, I just, yes, her mom was adopted. That's a whole different conversation. Has she
That's
ever
different.
been in Colombia? Like, is she first generation or was she born here? That's a whole different conversation than
Well,
is your mom from Colombia. Now, I just want to get out my gripe with Brittany
yeah,
also. This was my first time finding out that her dad is black and her mom is Colombian because she's been saying I'm Latina. I'm
Latina the
like,
whole time.
the erasure of your dad. I just, then she's like, oh,
Yeah.
my grandparents are white.
Yeah, I had a lot of weird questions about all that. My thing is, if somebody tells me, my family is German,
Mm-hmm.
okay, were your parents born in Germany or are you of German descent? Because German and from Germany to me is a different cultural thing than German, but they moved here in like 1812 or something like that.
Yes, but note the words that you used, but you didn't say is my family is from Germany. You're not going to ask them right back. So is your family from Germany? You're going to specify what you're asking. And maybe I'm just putting a lot of things on him, but I don't
We
understand.
just don't like him,
No, I know we
which is
do, but
fine.
it just feels like he was just harping on the whole thing. And
Yeah,
what he's really asking is, how Colombian is she? And that's
yeah,
annoying. What does
yes.
it matter?
Yeah, I think if this was somebody who didn't have a whole lot of weird other seeming racial hangups, it wouldn't have stood out so much. But considering what we know about him, it's like this doesn't feel innocent from you. It feels like you're looking for something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be as annoyed, but I think it will stand out because it's just like I hate repeating myself. So if someone tells you like my mom is
Yeah,
Colombian, why are you asking me again? Is your mom from Colombia? Like
I would assume she's from Colombia. I
I
think.
just said that she's Colombian. Like what makes her Colombian? Being from Colombia.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is producer driven, but this man is still talking about race in his
Hmm.
confessional. And I'm like,
Hmm.
are you bothered or is this the producer? I really want to give you an out, but there's no out to be given because these words are coming out of your mouth. And I'm like,
Yeah,
get over it at this point or go home.
and not for
Go
nothing. If I'm
vacate so you
him,
could come.
yeah, if I'm him and I'm seeing Brittany, I'm just like, I don't care what you're. This is amazing. Like, look what I got, and
Yeah,
he's just
but
like, oh, she's brown though. I'm just like,
I
what is your
know.
problem?
But when you have that tinge of not self hatred, but maybe self hatred, you just that trumps everything else. You just
Yep.
want to be up there. So she's not feeling it eventually because she's the one who's reaching for a kiss and he seems disengaged. And they have a conversation about that. And we will get into that later when all the people meet. Jess and Chris, she was in the room and said it's so nice to not have your phones. And, because I just go on the internet. And then she was like, I have strong political views and there's a lot of bad news out there. Because she said a lot of the news is negative, I'm thinking she cool.
I
She
think so.
right there. So,
Well,
but
and given the fact that she's like an infectious disease doctor and was like in the shit during COVID, I think we kind of have
yeah,
some idea of where she might land.
yes. Chris is absolutely just smitten by Jess, and it's also his birthday. And again, it was just a lot to keep up with all of them. I'm like, did I miss a conversation of them not having kids? Because she's like, I don't want your mom to think you married an old lady and now you don't want to have kids. And I'm like, is it just her, you know, being a little insecure about her fertility because she's 38? Because Chris is like, you're not old, like you can still have kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like a case of that or she just didn't want to have kids. I don't know. But that came up.
We don't know. It's not a Jenny and Submit thing, so we don't know for sure.
With them. Amber and Jordan was hilarious because Jordan, he burst out the CPAP machine.
Yeah.
On
Surprise. He just turned around and it was on.
It didn't stop them though. For a refresher, Jordan is the one who's husky and Amber is the one who claims that she's 33. And they still got it in though. But it was just funny seeing them
With the
like
mask on.
tonight and the mask was just on with the CPAP. Ashley and Alex, these are the hot couple. Alex is the soccer guy. He seemed annoyed because he kept trying to explain his tattoos and his scars to her because he got to talk about himself and the things that he's been through. And she wasn't quite getting it. And he was like, no, no. And then she tries to describe that when she was coming on the plane, she was reading Fourth Wing and it was about dragons. And she called it smut.
It's not.
I have read Fourth Wing. It is not smut. And it's just
like YA romance, right?
No, it's not. That's the other thing. It keeps selling as YA because when I was reading all the sex scenes, I was like, 15-year-olds are reading this. It's not. It's just fantasy.
Okay.
But it's just a book that has sex scenes in the book. I don't know why she called it smut. But then Alex is like, what is smut? I don't know what that is. And that's a whole thing.
Shut up, Alex.
Then Alex tried to create his persona and he's like, I'm a nerd. I read stoicism. I'm just a dork. I'm like, you're so annoying. Yep. And then because we didn't have enough with Patrick and Casey last season, we get this foreplay. Is it hard? Are you hard enough? Are you done?
Oh my God.
Me? I'm like, all right. And of course, they did have sex because these two are leading with sex. And Ashley, in a way, is leading with sex. She's just very secure in her sexuality, which is great. But she's just like, there's something about this. What did she say? I know how to take care of a man.
Yeah, I know how to take care of a man.
That were said. As if I did not like Alex enough. They were talking about soccer and he's just like, she's listing people. She mentions Beckham and he's like, oh, I've met him. He's not even that good. I was like, sir, you're the one coaching. We don't even know who you're coaching.
You were a second round MLS pick, sir.
You have the audacity to say Beckham is not good. Okay. And he's like, oh, I've met him. I would like to live in Portugal. That's where Ronaldo's from. Sorry. You want to move somewhere because Ronaldo is from, he plays in the Middle East now. You want to live there too? Okay.
No, thank you. And that league is troublesome.
So every time I think I'm being harsh on him, he just does something to annoy me and he's just so annoying. They talk about testing out different states when they're done with the entirety of anything. And he's like, listen, I've proven I can get a job anywhere in the country. I've been to 3 different countries and I've lived there. And I've listed all these things. I've gone through all these things in my life. There's nothing that I can't go through. I'm like, ugh.
This man's annoying.
Just be a human being, okay? Like you're just screaming insecurity. You're relying on your looks, but there's a lot internally that you don't like, and you're like, I'm not gonna let them see me sweat, and it's just coming out weird, sir.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what his insecurity is. I can't imagine it's his looks, but the way that he is talking presents like he's insecure about his looks. It's very strange to me.
I think he's insecure about the fact that his whole personality was like being an athlete. And then even as an athlete, like he's lucky that it's soccer and he's like with a woman who doesn't really know about it.
Right.
Like in the grand scheme of things, you're not that, up there, whatever.
If his football, it's the equivalent of his football career being what like West's from Summer House was. Like he played in college, but like, I mean, Montana State or whatever. Like it's not, you're not, football player is no longer your identity.
Alex's energy is, I peaked in high school. He didn't.
Yes.
I'm just saying that's his energy. It's just I peaked in high school and I'm going to hold it out to the end. And luckily he still has his looks. So then he thinks that should carry me, for a while.
Exactly.
All right. It's Connor's birthday party. They all have the meetup. It's the US version. So, of course, the first topic of conversation is sex. Everyone is just yapping about how they had sex. Emma is like, me and Mike, we were fucking on the daybed. I quote, this is not me.
Yep.
And basically they all had sex except Britt and Devontae with an A. Because she's celibate. So you just know that Alex is here to show people that we are the best couple. As they walk out, he's like, "Give it to me, give it to me." It's her hand. He wants her
Yeah.
hand. So they
Yep.
walk in together. And I'm like, I need to fix my face every time this man comes on screen because I'm just annoyed by him.
He's gross. I don't like him.
So Bree, we're introduced to the crazy of Brie because she thinks like, what is happening right now? Everything is so surface. We're not acknowledging everything that we've done. We dated, we shared things, we've been through things. And I was gonna ask you, Brian. I'm not comprehending. What is the thing that she wants to happen at a birthday party for your fiance?
They talk about it a little bit later. Basically, she wanted Chris to like pull her aside and try to either win her over or at least like have this deep acknowledgement of how serious their connection was or something. I'm like, why do you want that? And why do you expect that?
Okay, but she's not even saying him. She's saying we
Yeah,
all went through a
everybody.
process.
We all should
We
be
all
doing
went
this.
through that. She didn't even say that because even Connor is the one who kind of pulled that out. So at that moment in time, I'm just like, what are you saying? Am I like slow? Like I don't know what you're I'm not comprehending anything you're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she even knew what she was trying to say, but it was very
It's almost
annoying.
like she was upset that Connor didn't like pull Emma aside for a chat in Soul Ties or whatever. I'm just like, what? Why do you want all the couples to have to like break down what happened and talk to their exes? Like, I don't. It's very strange to me that she seemed like genuinely upset that it didn't happen, and I don't know why.
Yeah. All the guys are together and they're talking about where they are in their relationships, and Connor does that backhanded compliment thing again and said one thing he doesn't like is that she doesn't shut the fuck up. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
this is, I don't know,
Yikes.
this is banter, I don't know. The thing for Alex is like, she's not the type that he goes for. I mean, he said it before. He said it before, actually, now that I think about it. I think he told her in passing, like, usually I don't go for blondes, whatever, which was
Mhm.
surprising to me because he made that whole comment about athletes and their wives. And I thought this was what he was looking for, but
You would have
apparently
thought.
not. But I'm going to get there. If his type was not there, would he ever have said that? I think that's the question that I was thinking. Would he
Mm.
just go along because she's, what society describes as attractive? And this is Ashley I'm talking about, but we'll see. We'll get there.
Yep.
Mike's gripe is Emma's suitcase. Basically, she's messy. He didn't say she's messy. He just said her suitcase, and I'm like,
Yeah.
said something else.
It's a surface level gripe, but I'm also just like, how bad is it though? Like,
Like,
it's just
it
the
must
whole
be
floor covered. It must be pretty bad.
So after the party, they come back and Breezy is still bitching about this whole surface thing. Like, I think she's also the kind of person who doesn't know how to let things go. And she just keeps going, like, we just went through this thing and, it's bizarre. And now I think there's alcohol in her system. And it's like,
Yeah.
we're just acting like none of it happened. Again, I ask, what is happening? And I'm like, Connor is confused. I'm like, okay, great. It's not just me. The person who lived it is also confused, but also it's his birthday. I
It's his
just want to say
birthday.
that. And he just says it flat out and says, were you just hoping that Chris pulled you aside? Is that
Mhm.
really what we're trying to say? This woman didn't go, no. She pauses. A pause is an answer.
Mhm.
She pauses and is like, huh, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm not quite sure. And he's like, huh, I didn't talk to Emma. And she's like, yeah, I think that's weird. And he's like, I chose you.
Yeah, I was here with you.
Done. There's nothing to actually talk about. And it's like I don't know who was freaked out. She was freaked out. And I'm like, she's not even reading the room because clearly he's just now like, okay, what is happening right now? But she just keeps going on and
Yeah.
on.
He won't look at her, and
Yes.
he has like the biggest stank face, and I'm like, how do you not see what his face looks like right now? This man looks like he smells bad fish when you're talking to him about how you wanted to have this like deep conversation with Chris. Again, it's his birthday. Why don't you read him a little bit and say, oh, I understand I'm upsetting you. I don't want to make you upset. It's like, I'm
Yes.
gonna go harder. I'm gonna keep on going.
Yes, she's doing that. Another pillow talk or debrief was between Emma and Mike. Mike was surprised at how Amber looks He's
Mm-hmm.
I thought what was like, where are we going with this? But he was like, oh, she
Yep.
has a child. So I just thought I was like, not everyone who has a child suddenly looks terrible. I don't know what he
They don't
was.
all become like a 45-year-old mom from the 90s.
But he thinks that Jordan and Chris no, Amber and Jordan and Chris and Jess are the perfect couple. They're going to bed and I don't know. You know how I said Emma had the hangups and there's just something about Emma. She can't stop laughing. And she's just so like uncomfortable. She's like, I don't know why I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, what is wrong with you? So I don't.
I wonder if she was just drunk.
Yeah, maybe
just like a
that's what
silly
it is.
drunk.
I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, they still got it
Yeah.
on, so they're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final thing that we have is the pool party that they have. Bree is still going on and on. And thank goodness Chris went to her. I'm sure the producer was like, Chris, over here, please.
Yeah.
Just
Just
over
talk
here.
to her, please.
And I kind of get why Connor is like, she doesn't shut the fuck up because I thought he was being rude, but no, he's not.
No, he's not.
Like, so they sat talking about the ice plunge. And I've said this before where I don't understand certain conversations that they have after they're engaged. It seems like disrespectful to the partners and it seems like they forget this conversation with Chris. Bree seems to think that we had a connection so that trumps everything else and that's fine for me to talk to you because you're basically still my boyfriend or something
Yep.
in her brain because she's like, well, I've already told Connor like regardless like he's going to be in my life anyways and sorry who is he with? Sorry Jess, sorry.
Yeah, Jess.
Yes.
Jess and uh-oh.
I know. We just
Chris and Jess, Connor, Emma?
yes. Sorry,
There
Jess.
you go.
No, who's he? Yes. Sorry, Jess.
Isn't it?
Sorry, whoever. I don't know.
They all look the same. It's impossible to do.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But I'm like, that is a wild thing to say that you're just still gonna hang out and they can do the ice plunges together. And I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? And then she's like, he says, like, oh, you and Connor, like, you guys really work. And she goes, really? And he says, what? Like,
Yeah, you don't
yes,
think so?
you do. And she's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if it is. Like, I can't see myself from outside. We've been in a bubble. And then she just keeps going on and on and on. And he's like, yeah, you guys do good together. Chris looks uncomfortable to me. I don't know if it's just
Yeah.
me projecting my me being uncomfortable.
I'd be uncomfortable.
Yes, he was uncomfortable. But he reassures her. He was just like, no, for real, you guys look good together. She's like, oh, thank you. I needed the validation from your ex.
Yeah.
Everything about it was very odd.
Mm-mm.
Very, very odd.
Doesn't feel good.
On the other side of the mountain, Connor's insecurities are coming out. The man is not taking it well at
No.
all. So he goes over to Emma and is like, how are you doing? Emma has not a care in the world. She's fine. She's great. And everything is good. And I think he said if she ever needed to talk, I think he said that to her.
Yeah.
That, you know, she could come to him. I'm like, okay, weirdos.
She's like, yeah, no, I'm good.
They play Never Have I Ever. Always fun. They have a question where they were like, never have I had a hickey. And Devontae puts his hand, he doesn't put it down. He's never had one. And she's like, oh, I can give you one. And Devontae is like, I don't want a hickey.
Like,
like,
I'm good.
Okay.
You know what?
fair.
Like, she's not really gonna do it. She's asking if she can like suck on your neck. Just say like that'd be great. And they'd be like, ugh, no.
Also,
Like,
you don't have to vocalize that. You don't, it's
No.
fine if you don't want a hickey. But don't say it in a group of people. Like,
No.
you basically just said, ew, cooties.
right.
Just like, don't say
I want that from you.
And then she's like, I gotta go. And then she goes to eat. And then she tells this is Britt. She tells Jess, I think that's who it was there. And she's like, I told him if he needs to have sex, we can have sex. And I'm like, girl, stand on business. If you don't want to
Yeah.
have sex, don't have sex to keep a man. You do what you need to do. And it's like, we can do it. If that's the roadblock, if that's what he needs, because he gave her this cock and bull story about needing his nothing time or nothing space or whatever. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong
his
with him.
nothing box.
Yes, his nothing box. He just needs to
Just
be
leave me
by
alone.
himself and leave me alone. And now you want to offer him sex because you're gonna feel worse where if you're breaking like a rule that you had for yourself, whether it doesn't have to make sense to us. If it makes sense to you and that's what you want to do, if you offer him sex and then he turns you down, you're gonna feel 10 times worse.
That's what happens. I
So
wonder if she was like, yeah, the celibacy thing was important when I wasn't like in a committed situation, but like I'm committed to this man now.
like
I
really.
would like to have some sex with him. I don't think that's what it was, but the way that she was like, yeah, you can touch my boobs. I don't care. So I just kind of, I don't know, but it definitely seems like she is leaving the door open and he is like aggressively slamming it shut. And I don't know why.
And I don't know if she was exaggerating because I guess when everyone's talking about sex and you're feeling like you're behind, she was like, oh, there was a lot of touching and they were doing all that. So for her to go from, because it seemed at that point that he was interested, but then by the next day, she's saying he doesn't reach for a kiss, he doesn't touch me
Mhm.
unless I do that. So I'm like, what is true and what was not true?
Yeah.
Then the camera starts showing Alex getting out the pool, coming out. I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm looking for ways where it doesn't have to be 6 episodes. So I'm like, why are we showing this man? What is the purpose of this? I did not see this coming. I was just still wondering, and suddenly he says, "Brittany is someone I will date on the outside.
Yep.
She has the physical attributes that I find attractive."
Mhm.
I was floored for many reasons.
Mhm.
She's the complete opposite of Ashley. Guys, Brittany is gorgeous. Brittany is bodacious. She got the boobs, she got the curves, she got it. And I'm like,
Sure does.
and also, I'm not gonna lie. Let me just confess right now. I did not think Alex would be someone that would be into that. I thought that Ashley would be what he was looking for with his kind, I guess.
You know, it reminds me a little bit of the reaction people thought Ali was going to have on Love is Blind UK, where he's like, I don't know what y'all thought. This is exactly what I'm into. Like, this is what it is for me. And it almost kind of felt like, okay, we judge him because we don't like him and we have expectations about the stuff that he's into because of who he is, how he presents.
Mhm.
But like, you like what you like. And
Yeah.
Listen, I get it. God knows that's for me. So like, I can't judge, but
No, there's
I
nothing
was
to judge
surprised.
about it. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous. I don't buy into the
No, but it's
conventional-
unexpected.
Yeah, the conventional things. I'm just saying that with Alex, after saying the shell and this and that, and he kept saying like Ashley is what it was and that she's gorgeous and the flirtations and all the things, I was surprised.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say pleasantly surprised because it feels like a compliment to him, and I'm not
Mhm.
giving him that. So
It's just unexpected.
yes. So
Yeah.
he has a conversation with her, and they both say, like, yeah, their partners are different from different types that they will date. Alex says, I like darker features in my women. But I don't know if it's the same as when the women say it. Do you mean black women? I don't know because tall, dark,
Yeah.
and handsome doesn't mean the same to me.
Do you just mean
So I
dark
don't
hair
know
and
what
dark
he means.
eyes or what?
So yes, and guys, like Ashley, no, not Ashley. Brit does. I don't. That's actually Brit does present as black.
Yeah.
Like she's Afro Latina.
Yeah.
The Afro is very silent with her.
Mm-hmm.
Whole other conversation, but she does present,
But looks
as
wise,
black.
yeah.
Looks wise, yes. She does not present as white at all, which is
No.
why Devontae is in distress.
Yeah.
So Alex says he likes darker features in his women and he's trying to see if the physical matches the emotional. Alex, my guy. How are you trying to see if it matches? You have had sex with this woman all different ways, all different positions, and these are all the ways you're trying to see if it matches the emotional. And he says, I'm still exploring that. I am shooketh. I'm very shook at this point because we have a villain on our hands.
Sure do.
He's saying it
another
very
one, a surprising one this time.
Alex?
Well, yeah, I mean, we had the Steven was the obvious villain.
Oh,
So
okay.
I just thought he was going to be annoying. I'm like, oh, you're nefarious though.
Remember, guys, he's engaged. The person he's talking about is his fiance.
He's engaged. His fiance is here.
He's talking to another woman. He says, like, I mean, I think she was like, have you had a conversation? Like, I think Brittany doesn't know what to do with this.
I
And
wouldn't know what to do.
have you had a conversation with her about it? He's like, nah, I said it in passing, but I think
Yeah.
it needs to be resaid. Does it? Does it though? That she's not my type.
You need to
And
move
he's
on
like,
from this.
he's like, it's gonna be, bad, but I'm comfortable breaking your heart to your face. I could say, I'm like, Alex,
Yeah.
reel it back. Take a deep breath and reel it back. And
Aggressive
she's
shot
like-
shooting.
Then he says, so how about you? And she's like, oh, wait, okay, we get to talk about me. She's like,
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned it. Then he's like, well, what's your type? She goes, oh, my usual type is tall, athletic. And you
Mhm.
can just see Alex going, okay, bet. Got
So
it.
me, huh?
It's in
It's
my
me.
brain. So she says in a confessional that she's very surprised by this conversation because he seems to have a ruthlessness to him. So it makes her nervous for Ashley. I was like, yeah,
It
you
should
should.
be. You should go tell
So
her about this.
that was the conversation that they had, and then that was it. I didn't know if I expected her to immediately go tell Ashley, but we don't see that. But when they get home, oh, is Ashley, right? Ashley asks him, her name is Ashley, not Amber, right? I'm always
Yeah,
scared of saying
Ashley.
the wrong name. It's
Amber
Ashley.
is with Jordan.
Is with your okay. So Ashley says, "Did you have any flirty conversations?" And I was like, "Huh? Did she
Mm-hmm.
tell her?" She's like, "Did any girls flirt with you?" And he's like, "You know when someone's lying and they start talking a mile a minute." This
Yep.
man said it like verbal diarrhea. He's
He
like,
became twist all of a sudden.
I just had conversations with everyone, like Devontae and Britt. They got work to do, but it's not my place to say anything. I'm like, Alex,
Mm-hmm.
Alex, I am scared of you. He said that so easily. And then he comes up with the whole, like, yo, they need to work it out, but I didn't say anything. You can check. Like, I'm open. I didn't flirt. I didn't say anything. She goes, okay, cool. Then she was like, I just don't want you. He brings up the whole new city thing again. It doesn't matter what it is. Hey, Alex, I think it's raining outside. Yeah, I know. I lived in 3 cities and 3 countries, and it rained
It
there,
rains
and
there
I was
sometimes.
fine. I got an umbrella for every city, every country that I went to.
Called a bumbershoot in England.
So she says, I just don't want you to be numb. Like at this point, it's like, do you even feel anything? Like, do you even have feelings for me? And he goes, he doesn't say, I do. He says, there are no problems.
Yeah. Yeah, you're avoiding my guy.
So that's where we ended with that, with a lie. And I think she's being suspicious because apparently he's trying to get them to move. They're going to test out Florida, then they'll test out Arizona and then move around. And he's just throwing it at her when you guys don't even know if you have a foundation. And she's just like, okay, I just need to know that you be there. This is new for me. So let me get myself straight. We move on to Brianna, who says, like, how was tonight? Tonight was great because I finally got my part 2, which is a conversation with Chris. And she goes, honestly, I could even do with a part 3 because there's
and again,
a lot
he's
to unpack.
grimacing.
I'm like, what? You want more? I'm like,
you need more.
Even Chris doesn't want a part 3. Chris doesn't even know that there's a part 2. The
No.
producers told him to come over. That man is smitten by Jess.
Yeah,
So-
he's happy.
But I mean, Connor does the right thing. He's like, usually I'll be like, oh, it's about me. You don't like me. You don't want me. That's what's happening. But he's like, you know what? It's not about me. It's more about what do you need now? And I'm going to be present for you for what it is that you need. And she's like, yeah, the thing is, Chris seemed happy. And so there's nothing to even talk about because what is there to say? Like, he likes Jess. All I heard was, I don't know why this man doesn't miss me. And he seems happy. And then what can I say? Like, why doesn't he feel like, why he just threw away what we had, even though she was the one who broke it off.
Yep. Well, it's that. And also the way that I felt hearing that was like, but if he wasn't happy, like they were having problems, like I would try to push that door open all the way. Just crazy. Like, buddy, come on.
She's just in her own world. And then she's just like, he's like, I broke everything off. I have not talked to Emma. I have chosen you. I don't feel the same way that you do. But she's just like, I believed in you. I chose you. Almost like I did you a favor. The tone, that's what we was giving. And she was like, but I just need patience. But I'm lost. I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know if she realizes she's engaged. I don't know if she realizes that when she chose him, all doors were closed. It's not a dating situation anymore. And I don't know what else Chris can give her. It's just, nothing. This is where, if there were experts, this would be great. But I guess that's not, the DNA of the show.
Well, and again, these two men look identical. So it's not even like a looks thing. It's not like, oh, you don't have a look that he's got. Like, they look the damn same. So I don't know what her hang up is at all here.
I actually think, I can tell them apart. I mean, Chris looks,
I can tell them apart, but it's not like one of them is, 6'8" and tattooed, and one is like 5'7" with like a comb over. They look on par with each other here.
Well, Brittany's having a conversation with Devontae with an A, and she tells him, like, listen, we're not connecting. Like, I have to reach out to you. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, I talk to you. I don't have to be with you 24/7. Like, I could just, say something and sorry I'm not there when you wake up. I have to go downstairs, read my book, be by
Oh my God.
myself. And she's like, okay, I don't feel like we're engaging. I don't even feel like we're engaged. And I don't feel like you're attracted to me. And he's
Yeah.
like, it's not personal, but that I gotta call cap on that. Like when you
Yep.
like someone, you don't need that much space from them. Like you just want to be all up in them. Like I used to joke with my husband, like I just want to be in your skin. Like I just want to
Mhm.
climb into you and just be in there. So, and she makes a good point. Like this is your honeymoon phase. And he's like, well, honeymoon phase. We need to figure out stuff. We don't know my
Yeah.
family, your family, you not being white. You put this burden on me.
How dare you not be Nordic?
How dare you, quote unquote, sound white and fool
You
me?
lied to me.
You tricked me. There's
No,
not
it's
no
crazy.
honeymoon phase. So
It's
I'm like,
crazy.
yeah, you just like, yes, she's right. If you want to be with someone, nobody needs to tell you whatever this nothing box thing that you were talking about, that's trashed and that's crap. So
Especially 2 or 3 days into your relationship. Like,
yeah.
I've said before, if I could, I would wear my wife as a backpack. I would just walk around her on my shoulders, my back at all times. I like being around her. I
Mhm.
don't understand this. I just met you and I already need a lot of space from you, even when you're asleep. Like
Yeah.
that is so bizarre to me.
Yep. And if she's complaining about it, at the very least, the time that you use for your book, read your book, but just at least be in bed
Yeah, read it in bed.
with her. And
You
then
don't read out loud, do you?
the fact you have to be a compromise. Like you're married now. You can't be like, oh, I need alone time during it's not a honeymoon, but it's like a pseudo honeymoon.
Mhm.
Like start building stuff. You have 4 weeks to decide. So it's crap. You're not attracted.
It's
This is
bad.
a Jabril situation. You're not
Yeah.
attracted to her. Just say it. Be a man. Self-evict. Bye. This
Yep,
Mexico
get out.
trip that people want to come to. I mean, it is pretty. The
It's beautiful
views
there.
are pretty. I was in Cabo a few months ago. So that was it, guys. That's all that we got for the episode. She was in shock and she just walked away at that point. And that's how it ended. We got some previews for
Woo.
what's coming up, and it looks like we're gonna have a good time. And thankfully, it's just 3 episodes next batch, so
Yeah.
should be less work and no pod.
Action-packed episodes, it seems.
Yes. I look forward to Connor telling Bree, "Get out,
Get out.
get out." So,
Unhook the deadbolt and tell her, get out.
yes. So looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
it's going to be good.
Okay. All right. Share your thoughts, guys, what you thought about it. But before we go, Brian, can you share with people where they can find you?
Yep, hosting Maths Virgin. We are doing the Houston season of Maths, season 13. Things are getting real bad with most of the couples at this point. So we're heading into the fun part of the season where we have a villain in every couple. So tune into that. You can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Maths Virgin and join our Facebook group, Maths Virgin Fan Club. There's a lot of jokes and also just like general reality TV conversation in there. I was hating on Amanda Francis this week. So tune into that too, because she's garbage.
Okay. You know where to find me, guys. It's also called Maps on all of the socials. I didn't realize for the longest time that I was not on YouTube Music, but it is on there now. So if that's how you listen, that is available. If you listen on YouTube, it's not always video, but you can also listen over there. Please give me a 5-star rating if you like what you hear on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. Until next time, guys. Bye.